Hello everyone, welcome back to the next session of this training. In this session we will see how to call a function module from Microsoft Excel and how to extract data from SAP. So far what we have seen is how to log into SAP system. So now how to call a function module. So we already know a function module. Let's see how to call this function module. For this exercise, what we will do, we will continue using our old worksheet what we have created so that the continuation will be quite easy for us to understand. So let us open the old worksheet what we have created. Okay, this is the worksheet which we have created. I will use Alt F11 and this is our code. Okay, this is a code which we are using. So from this code, now let us call the function module from this code. The function module which we have seen is to read the table, and we will read the table T001. So first thing is we need to set the value for this function module. So let's say now we are going to call function module. We use set command, set, let's say R of C is the equal to SAP, that is our object, and add. SAP is the object for SAP function, then we will give our function module name, that is R of C or read underscore tables. Okay, now we define the value. As a best practice, whenever you are reading a table, first we need to remove the contents if any existing contents are already there. It's a best practice to do. This is not necessary, it's an optional. It's always better to remove if it has an existing values. Remove means, let's say I can show it in the system, that will be quite easy. Go to SE37. This is our function module. Let execute. So we have some tables and options, right? So these can have some data. Whenever you execute, then you can have some data. Actually we can key in some information here. So that's the reason, if there is any information, let's say when I click, then you can see there is one entry already exists, which is a blank entry, invalid entry. So it is always better that you remove any contents if it is available before you executing this function module. So what we will do, how to remove that, it's quite simple. Let's say R of C is this function module dot tables. This is tables here, yeah, tables. Then in tables the field name is options, then dot, then what we are trying to remove is remove all the rows. Then you say rows dot remove all. So we are going to remove all the rows if anything exists. In our case it doesn't exist, and so if it is exists, then we are going to remove all. Okay, same like that, let's remove it from all the fields. So it's a best practice to do. So R of C, let it look nice. Tables, then the next field is FILDS fields, dot rows dot remove all. Okay, then rfc dot tables dot data dot rows dot remove all. Okay, so I removed all the content now from here. Now what we can do, now we need to tell this function module what table we are going to read. So what we will do next is define the table. Okay, how do we define the table? Is rfc our function module rfc, that is table exports. Then we need to define the field, that is query table. So query table, the value is, then the table name which we are trying to query is table T001. Okay, so now we define the table. Next is we need to call this RFC. So we need to verify whether we are able to call this RFC. So for that we will again use an if condition. If RFC dot call with opening bracket and closing bracket, if this is true, then let's check how many total entries available in this table. That will be a best way to see. So let's see the total entries, total record. Let's give a name, total record. It's a variable which is rfc dot tables. So this tables here, so we will get it in this data, right? So this data dot then row count. So it's quite easy. The row count, or these are all VBA commands, yeah. So it's once we start doing this one, then it will be quite easy for you to understand this. This will be the standard ways that normally we will be dealing with tables and this kind of data. Then there's a common statements which we will be using in our VBA. So we took a row count of all the records in this table T001, which we are calling here. Then let's output this one, then we know how many records we have. Let's say msg message box, then total record. Okay, and sometime you may also think that okay, we have a lot of variables but we did not define it in our dim statement. Why? It's actually not necessary if it is a common variables like this. When you save the variable, the VBA automatically assumes okay, this variable is an character or some integer, something like this. But only in some specific cases it is necessary that you need to define this. Something like if you are dealing with dates and date formats, then it will be useful for you to do that. Okay, and once we start if statement, we always have to end the if statement. Okay, now it looks fine. So here what we have done, like check the total number of records in table 1. Okay, so now we completed our VBA code. Let us execute the code. To execute the code, we simply press F5. I'll press F5, or let's run this. Okay, you can log into SAP system. That is our first message. Then the total number is 166. Okay, now if we can log into SAP system, we don't need this message anymore, because we know already we can log into SAP system. We need only if we cannot log into SAP system. Okay, now let me execute again. So I got the result 166. So the table T001 have 166 entries. Now we have seen how to call an function module. As I said, this is not the only function module you can use. You can use almost all the function module which has these kind of scenarios to read the tables or read different informations. We will also see one of our additional tool which using another function module just for reviewing, but we will still continue use this function module because this is easy to start with. Okay, I will save this code, and this code also will be available in our FTP server for you to download with this session name. With this, we are coming to the end of the session. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next session. Bye bye.